talk about Wendy. Okay, reportedly, Wendy took a psychological evaluation and she proved that she was not incapacitated. Okay, shout out to Lauren, who works down there at the Breakfast Club to, be the smarter girl there. No, no shade to Jess. I love you, girl, but listen. A source close to Wendy Williams exclusively confirms to me that Wendy Williams just scored 10 out of 10 on a psych eval exam she took while at Lenox Hill Hospital. This proves she is not incapacitated. More to come on this and what this means tomorrow during the latest with Lauren LaRosa on the Breakfast Club. Okay? So that's the one thing. First of all, she is proving that she's okay. All right? But also, hold up. I think was it the same story? Because I saw something else about her being hospitalized since she went through this test. Is it just me? Hold up. I thought I had saved the story that read that something had occurred thereafter. But we really hope that Wendy is about to be freed from her conservatorship. Wendy Williams speaks out after hospital visit and passing capacity test. Let's see what
happened yesterday with Wendy. It was a lot going on. We saw Wendy leaving the facility with all the police.
Yep.
What happened?
Well, the police showed up, and I'm exhausted. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go to the hospital to talk to the doctor. Gina, you can expound upon that a bit, please.
So I did two things. I wrote a letter to the Adult Protective Services explaining to them Wendy's situation. She was isolated and we needed an investigation. Yesterday morning, during our morning calls, I told Wendy we will be calling the police. And we will be speaking to police and we will be telling them that you are isolated. And the police came into the room. Wendy gave me the phone and I pleaded with the police as if Wendy was my child. I said, please, you cannot walk out.
And I want y'all to walk us through what happened yesterday.
Without Wendy. And she told me, I promise, I will not.
Yeah, I was shocked to see Wendy walking yesterday. That's what I was telling Wendy
yesterday.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, I can't. We seen them lymphedema feet. I was like, I could not believe Wendy.
Let me tell you something. So the cops say to me, you know what I'm saying? They say, Wendy, you have to leave the scooter. I said, okay, but just walk with me, okay? And so they walked with me. So it was like exercise for my feet.
When the officers were there, Wendy started to feel she had a little bit of anxiety. And I said, tell them that you need to go to the hospital. And I said, when you go to the hospital, you're going to ask for an independent medical evaluation.
Yes.
But the building was giving us a hard time. They first sent a nurse.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Wendy, we'll take care of it. I'll take your vitals.
And I said, no, thank you. No, thank you.
And I'm on the phone and I'm like, no, we need a medical doctor.
Right.
The nurse says, oh, we have a doctor in the building.
No, I want
without Wendy. And she told me, I promise.
Independent doctor.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm
without Wendy.
Independent doctor.
Yeah, I said, no, she needs to get out. We need to go to a hospital. That's not a hospital.
Right.
And then finally, the cops were okay with that. And then the ambulance, and Wendy was okay as well.
Now tell us what happened when you got to the hospital, because there were claims that they did a test and she got 10 out of 10 on the test. So what happened when she actually got to the hospital?
So according to what was told, the guardian was there and Wendy's attorney. And I think there was a little back and forth as whether she was going to allow Wendy, the guardian, to get evaluated. The doctor saw there was a difference between the guardian's opinion and her lawyer's opinion. And the doctor had to go to his legal department from the hospital to clear to see how he was going to do it. He received the clearance for the evaluation. And then Wendy took 2 evaluations. And pretty much they're evaluating whether she has competency and is able to make decisions, and she passed both tests.
What does the 10-10 mean?
Independent doctor.
10 out of 10 correct. 10 questions asked, 10 questions correct, answered correctly.
I mean, they asked me simple things like, who's the president? You know what I'm saying? What's my birth date?
I have a question for you guys too. So there are reports that this exam that you did can't be used in moving forward to prove the like that you're not incapacitated. Can you clear that up or like explain how this will be used?
That's actually false. That's a medical exam done by an independent doctor by a very well-known hospital. You can use that for the court. 10 out of 10 correct. 10 questions asked, 10 questions correct. And
Okay, so that's what we got there. And then also, this is what I saw. TMZ obtained a video of Wendy Williams standing in the window of her room this morning while talking into a phone. She seems to be crying out for help to the photographer shooting the footage outside the facility. Okay, so y'all know that's where they have her held up. And then we saw her being taken out to the hospital, where I guess that's where they got that whole thing, the evaluation done. Wendy Williams' guardianship is being investigated by Adult Protective Services in New York City. Okay, I guess TMZ is responsible for helping her get that accomplished. Then she aced her psychiatrist capacity test. Let's see. Yeah, that's her. That's her walking. Okay. Yeah. So it seems as if this actually may be able to help her when it comes to her getting the rights to her money back, the rights to her life back. You know what I mean? Like, free Wendy, bro. Free Wendy. Free Wendy. I hope that this continues to help her get back on her feet, because this shit is just wild to me. Being able to just take somebody's life, take their money, you know what I mean? And say, oh, they're incapacitated, so they can't have control of their own life. Like, yeah, nah. Hold up. What did Don say?
Breaking news is coming in involving the former talk show host Wendy Williams, taken from her assisted living facility in New York City today by ambulance. She walked to the ambulance on her own accord, but according to her court-appointed guardian, she is incapacitated, usually in a wheelchair. She doesn't look incapacitated.
To me, she like riding around in that wheelchair just because it's fun. Like, I don't want to walk. But his voice is very low, so I'm not going to play that. He's just going to basically tell us everything we already know. Wendy Williams reportedly achieves perfect score, proving she's not incapacitated. All right, so let's move on. Good job, Wendy. Okay, we just going to keep going towards freedom, y'all.